So the lights were moving in such a beautiful pattern in the glittering octagon. It was so majestic. This because absolutely the majestic, the beauty of it is how they would look so natural, immersed in the natural landscape, the skyline, the night sky. They would not look artificial lights, but they would have a natural tone to it. Amazing. Imagine. I will mention, later on the sites I understood through a YouTube video. Amazing. Amazing world. I must say, YouTube, you are amazing. So, imagine this. So I was fascinated, but I couldn't really explain it then, even for many years. But that scene, the beauty of the sky, was in my subconscious and my conscious. I said, oh, okay, maybe I have witnessed some kind of a technology I cannot explain. And sometimes when you have a spectacular dream, there's a movie I don't remember. The guy would say, sometimes when I have a fascinating dream, I meet people and it seems they are talking about my dream. Yes, I did. So somebody really talked and I overheard. They were proximate to me. And I said, wait a second. Did they really talk about that dream? Or it's a coincidence that I took it that way? I said, okay, well, and it happened recently, a few months ago. I said, okay, I'm on to writing so much and I'm so expressive, I can write 10,000 words in a day, in one sitting. Let me just do a search a bit. Because of course, the aura really remind me, because I would see, uh, uh, when there are lights, when the city of Lahore, Islamabad, or any Pakistani city is decorated. Eid Milad al-Nabi is a very important day for all Muslims across the world. And for Pakistanis, the sky would be glittered with lights. The roads would be glittered with lights. You would see every building, every house glittering with lights and beautiful lights representing love and affection. And a culture yes, more than amazing. So so I had this, I said, okay, so I saw the lights, but they were really they were naturally immersed. Those octagons, the few of octagons, as if, and they were into the space. I could feel that. So my mind could say that, isn't it that what, when they said the stars have come down dancing, when Hazrat Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala married Hazrat Fatima Raziyallahu Ta'ala. It could remind me. Then of course, even if I'm flying on Eid Milad al-Nabi over the Lahore city or Islamabad or any city of Pakistan or most probably any Muslim country, folks, don't really think that the lights you lit in the offices, homes is less beautiful. But then, because you can understand, I'm some kind of physics enthusiast, I will reconfirm what I have said when I will conclude the argument. So now, I'm wondering, okay, so I have this thought. If somebody asks me, of course, stars are stars. They're huge. It should not really mean, it doesn't, it has to be something. And since so many years and decades, I have a kind of I try to build a scientific argument trying to explain Islam, and partly that is why I'm one of those people who would say, okay, what about Muslim scientists? And not many people were talking about Muslim scientists. And now I'm so happy that the young generation passionately understands Islamic history through education and science as well. And then finding a right context to the modern world. It's not that Muslims only contributed to education and science. It's a world made through hard work. It's a world made through science. It's a world made through effort. And our forefathers, whether they are European, American, Asian, African, Latin American, Australian, they have made this world what it is today. Maybe somebody's traveling thousands of miles across the sea, like Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Gandhi, to maybe another continent to get education, seek education. I mean, this world is big. I mean, it's a beautiful human story. So, coming back to, so I was like, I mean, if somebody asks me, though I cannot really explain it, as I have done that, you might be saying, okay, we have an idea. We have the idea, one can draw that idea while sitting in a plane, looking down from the window of the plane to the city, the beauty of the shining lights of the city, and we can, I mean, something, this is a beautiful aura. So we can then presume that, how beautiful it would look in the sky. The mysterious, because of the octagon shape and, small lights moving and the octagon shape in layers. But then, anyway, I said, okay, maybe, it's the same thing, that as if stars have come down. I mean, literally, stars cannot really come down. That's how best I could tell. Most beautiful representation of my thought as far as that scene was concerned. And yes, to then explain before going to the science, I mean, if you are, for example, I'll discuss it later. So, what could be the science of it? Now, when I overheard people talking about it, as if I thought, I went to YouTube and saw, and here you go, another Monte Carlo Games YouTube, as usual, coming for my help, had a video. The video was not a lot much, but very scientific revelation for a solar reflector. The video was moon, earth, and there was some kind of a frame, simple frame, not lit, nothing. And I said, oh, what if it is kind of a technology humans have made, but while it started with the idea that we need to maybe manage the pollution, manage the sunlight, and for energy resources, we build a large frame somewhere in the space between moon and earth, while it is orbiting because of the orbit of earth and the physics of the orbit of earth and orbit of moon, so that it could be floating somewhere in between moon and earth. That frame, yes, that would be the start of that idea. And then I started working on the physics of it, and I say, okay, hexagon. I see a lot of physics videos about hexagons, but there I saw a beautiful octagon. And now the story. Now the beauty of what you can say, anyway, it's just skipped my mind. I'll explain it. So, so with that idea, I started understanding the physics of hexagon and octagon. And octagon, what would be the physics? I mean, of course, a solar panel, a solar reflector, a large frame makes all the more sense. And the video was few days ago. I mean, some kind of a new idea that, let's float a frame to then allow some fascinating physics. And of course, it would be floated from the moon. I mean, because of the gravity, you understand. I mean, the moon does not have so high gravity, and you can build the frame and then float it in between moon and earth. So this is possible. I mean, this is already science is working on it. While I need to make physics out of that octagon I saw. And then I started wondering, okay, hexagon, some serious physics is being explained, scientists are working on it. And then octagon. And then I said, if you can see hexagon and octagon. Yes, because I've seen so many movies and I've been working on ideas of Einstein, imaginary time, imaginary space, relative time, relative space. And yes, what it would be? It would be something like a gravity reflector, which could also manage relative time and space. I mean, imagine that. How beautiful would it be? How I mean, the technology can do wonders, but mostly it is so beautiful to experience it. And yes, here, before I forget it, now, if I can look at the scene which I was trying to find a YouTube video. I mean, I saw Robbie Williams. I saw some videos with that ambience, with the ambience which I am talking about. If such a structure can be there, such a beautiful, amazing, majestic structure, and of course, somewhere in the space, the aura of it, then people are working on it. But then there is something related with those people are really successful people, which is very good. I mean, I think I'm pretty successful writing so many books. So, so I was, and then Banno Karodpati. In one of the videos I caught you, Amitabh Bachchan. You had the same design, same beauty. Yeah, you can say that. I mean, of course, floating down spaces is so majestic. And then, of course, you cannot put it in a two-dimensional screen. For that, you have to build up a sky and that angle, which would allow you to then really understand the beauty of those glittering octagons, as if some stars have come down to dance and wonder. I mean, that beauty. So yes, maybe after this video, I mean, some enthusiastic designer, this web designer, will spend some time and make a video of a night sky while, maybe he is walking like this and then suddenly he would show the sun. I don't know. I mean, that proximate distance where those octagons were floating, those glittering octagons, lit with golden lights. Well, I mean, it's beautiful. And so, then I can remember I had, so many nice dreams, so many wonderful dreams. Yeah, one time I was sitting on a space pod as well. Can you imagine that? Yeah, it's just a different strand of story. I remember two of my friends, class fellows actually, who studied with me at Quaid-e-Azam University, were sitting there as I was walking behind them, 2016 most probably, and they looked at me and they showed me some kind of a how these wireless sets work, which are not really mobile phones, but they are kind of, they were before mobile phones. They were some kind of a wireless or which have video. Definitely this used by American military, or mostly you will see a little bit of a bigger size communication device. But of course, it has some nice colors on the frame. And this Amir Ahmed Khan was the first one to show me, hey dude, what do you think? Don't underestimate us. I said, what? Look at this technology. And I was amazed. I mean, it was 2006, so many years ago that I don't really remember. I did, but even then I couldn't understand. Then the next seat, Asfandyar was saying, dude, yeah, you better confirm it. I mean, that was a dream. And yeah, some kind of a, birthday of children or something, if I remember correctly. I was like, oh, what? So there are some kind of a new mobile technologies coming? I immediately went to Twitter, now X, and Facebook, and then, Google and YouTube. That Apple is working for some another kind of a technology. While, what was the understanding then? Again, yet a three-dimensional output of a mobile phone, but with the power to influence the circumstances which are being shown in the screen. I mean, the screen, this was amazing. I mean, it's some kind of a mobile phone, of course, you have a crystal ball and you have a better communication line than a mobile phone. I mean, so you need to understand the context. And now I have worked with so much physics, where Microsoft Copilot would tell me, Dawood Mamoon, dude, do you want to travel across the universe on a starlight laboratory? You better read that book. I've written it. Out of nowhere, I told him some physics. We discussed some things, and then I said, what would you really name this discussion? And he said, sitting in a starlight laboratory with Daud Mahmood. Amazing. So, let me conclude it and bring another video. There will be a series of video. So hopefully join you soon.